My name is Daniel Nealon. I am a pastor at West End Community Church in Nashville, Tennessee. I am married to my wife, Hannah.
We have 2 kids, Eli and McLean, and I stay at home with them mostly, and I love it, but I also work part-time for a church plant.
In a lot of ways, my testimony's not unique. I had family that loved me. I had a family that cared about me. Maybe the most unique thing, though, that I did have is I had a dad who always challenged me, a dad who always sought to push me to seek truth, to always ask questions, to be skeptical, and why I knew what it is I knew and why I believed what it is I believe. It was really in asking those really big questions that I came to know the Lord. I started asking the bigger questions. What do I do with my guilt? How do I know that I'm right with God? It was in college that I really came to know that the only answer to those questions is through Jesus.
I was about to study abroad in Argentina, so we talked for hours every night about Christianity and about the Bible. And I knew what I believed, but I didn't know why. And I was frustrated at some of the things that Daniel would say. And so I had to read my Bible to be able to back up why it is what I believe in. So yeah, through our relationship is probably where I grew the most in my Christian faith, even though I have been a believer all my life. And Daniel was the one to remind me of that. I have a really cool testimony that God has been faithful through my generations, through my grandparents, and then through my parents, and then through us. It's been pretty cool to see the Lord's work in my family's life, and I would love to see families in Colorado grow up with that same testimony.
I think it was through asking those big questions, not only is that the reason that Hannah and I are married, but it's also something that really drew me to Vanderbilt Divinity School. It was really my time at Vanderbilt that gave me a passion and a heart for ministry. Being in a context where people were hurting in a dark place, who were asking the same questions that I was asking, but weren't getting answers or answers that would ultimately satisfy them. When I think of planting in Colorado, the thing that really excites me is Colorado is full of people like this. Denver is the second fastest growing city in the United States, and it's one of the highest educated. So the people that are moving there are young people who are asking tough questions and really want a place where they can seek out the answers to life. I had no interest in church planting originally, but we came to a church here at West End, just a loving community that was interested in planting churches. The more we got brought into community and fellowship here at West End, the more and more we were encouraged that we might be right for this.
Before me and Daniel embarked on this journey, I was a little bit of a skeptic as well and thought, I don't know about this church planting thing, and I would ask Daniel questions and I would say, why do we need another church? And Flat Rock, the church plant that I work for right now, has just shown me how much it's brought in of the lost and the de-churched and immigrants and refugees. I think the coolest thing about that, though, is that you see God's faithfulness.
We really want to plant a church in the western part of Denver. We really want to see a gospel church in that location precisely because it's a growing area of young families, but it also has close geographical proximity to really good, solid universities. Deer Creek Church has called us as church plant residents to support us for the next 3 years in training us, equipping us, really making sure we're at a stable place where we can go and plant a healthy church. So our vision is not just to plant one church. Really what we want to do is we want to identify and disciple and support future leadership that is homegrown, people who are from Colorado or recently moved there, who have a commitment to this area, to the Rocky Mountain region. And we want to bring them in, we want to support them, disciple them, so that we're raising up a group of future church leaders and pastors. Well, we need support in 2 ways. We need prayer. We need people to hold us up in prayer and keep us in their prayer for the long haul. We're convinced that we're going to be on the front lines of what God's doing and how His kingdom is expanding. The second thing we need is financial support. We need people who are willing to really make pledges to us, to make commitments to us. We would love to have ministry partners who have an investment, not just in us, but in the work God is doing. That's individuals, that's churches, that's church planting networks, anybody who has an interest in seeing God's kingdom expand in the Denver Front Range.